Hey grade 9s, Mr. K here. I just want to give you a quick tutorial on that number trick assignment, which is posted on there. So if you need some help with that, hopefully this gets you started. You'll be submitting that online in some format, but I'll post a form where you can link that a little bit later on. So the number trick assignment itself, it's pretty straightforward. You're doing two things. One, you're setting up math. That's your purpose. But then whoever's playing your number trick, they're going to be actually playing it with different numbers. It might be best if we work through an example in this case. So I'm going to pick a theme, and the theme for my number trick is going to be this classroom, room 104. So I'm going to write that on the board. Now, if that's my theme, I have to get that person started, whoever's playing, with some sort of number. So I'm going to ask them to pick any number they want. Now, because they're picking any number they want, essentially they have just picked a variable. In this case, I'm going to choose x. And they could literally pick any number they want. Let's say, for example, they chose the number 5. You could have chose 6, you could choose pi, you could choose -10, it doesn't really matter. I just told them to pick a number, and so they picked a number. And this is the difference. This is the math, so the x is the math, and that's what we're going to work with. But then what they choose is what they see, and that's the actual numbers to the number trick. So let's start doing things to our number trick. For example, let's add the number of chair legs on a chair. If you remember, in our classroom, we have 4 chair legs. So our math now becomes x plus 4, but for them, whoever's playing, becomes 5 plus 4, or whatever number they chose. And they can simplify. Okay? And then I'm going to add another step. This time I'm going to say, you know what, let's multiply by the number of windows in room 104. So they're multiplying by 3, which means whatever number they had to multiply by 3 as well. And notice how I'm doing the math on both sides of the equal sign, because we have to make sure whatever we do to one side of an equation, we do to the other as well. Okay, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit just by distributing in. And once you clean up, you'll realize that, hey, we have a bunch of math going on our side, but they just have one number that they're seeing, and that's what we want. Okay, so let's do something else. How about let's divide by the number of boards we have in room 104. Okay, so that seems to make it a little bit awkward for the person, but they can still set up a fraction this way. They want to clean it up, they could. Don't really have to at this point. But we've made a mess for them, right? They have a number which is 27 over 4, but we know it's still going to work because we've got some math to actually play with. So then we keep on adding some things in. So how about after dividing, we subtract the number of computers in room 104. It looks like it's getting a little bit mathy here, but remember, we have a variable on our side, so we can't really do anything here, but they don't have any variables, so we could use our rational numbers here and subtract 27 over 4 minus 3. And that's because 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3. So we're still just subtracting 3. It's not changing the math, we're just making it a little bit easier for us, because now I can subtract 27 over 4 minus 12 over 4. I'm back to a number that I can play with. Okay, let's see, how about let's multiply now by, how about the sides to a table? It's making our math a little bit ugly, but on their end, there's some canceling out. So they should be with number 15 now, and for us, if we want, we can clean this up a little bit. You'll notice we end up getting 3 minus 3. Those end up canceling out. We end up getting 4 times 3/4. So our 4's cancel out, and we're stuck with 3 times our variable. Eventually get to your last step. Your last step should take them back to where they started. So in this case here, how about we divide by the number of, how about the number of grades that Mr. K is teaching this semester? I've got grade 9s, I've got grade 10s, and I've got grade 11. So I'm teaching 3 grades. You'll notice on the math side, we end up back with our variable, which is exactly what we want, because that means that the person playing the number trick should end up with the number they started with. And that's the number trick.